Good afternoon. I'm headed to pick my son up. I'm running late because I push it to the very last minute and then I rush out. And I do have a theory. This has nothing to do with what I was going to talk about, but I have a theory that whatever time you leave is whether you're going to be late or not. Not a big fan of rushing when you're actually driving because that's not safe. So I tell my kids, if you want to be somewhere on time, leave on time and give yourself enough time so that in case you run into traffic or stoplights or anything of the sort, you're not rushing, because time in the car is not the time to rush. Getting out the door, that's the time to rush. Anyways, a little bit of wisdom there in case you didn't know. I have two verses in my mind and I'm thinking it's probably going to pertain to parenthood. One of them, I've mentioned it here many times. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. That is what we want our goal to be. We want our goal to be time spent thinking about God and his ways and what we can do to be more like him as he refines us, because he is in charge of a lot of our character, but we do have free will and we have choices to make, and we want to be moved to make the right choices. Another one is, well, there are a couple different versions of it. I think I'll probably mix a few up, but don't provoke your children to discouragement. What that means is if you are really hard on them and you're not kind to them, it discourages them. And I know many of us don't intend to discourage our children, but when we're thinking about this verse and keeping it in mind when we're parenting and when they're around us, that's a really good verse to remember. I think of it often because, number one, my kids will be like me and my husband. And so if I tend to be kind of an angry person, my kids are going to kind of have angry spirits. And generally speaking, if you are optimistic and you don't, basically if you are resilient and your husband or wife is resilient, your kids pick up on that. And when you're parenting them and teaching them, discipline is teaching. You can discipline with punishment, but the word discipline means teach. And how are we disciplining our kids? Are we teaching them like a teacher or a coach would, with patience, explanation? I know there was one parenting book on discipline that talked about when you're going to start something new, explain to the kids the expectation and what the consequence might be if they choose to break the rule. And I think that really helps kids to respect the authority. We know that kids are called to honor us and respect us as authority, but we also know sometimes that we're not giving them the best things to work with, and truly they're still supposed to respect us and our authority, but we don't want to abuse our authority. And I truly believe that if you're aware of that, then you'll kind of change your actions a little bit. Another little piece is think about what you would need when you are their age. Most really young kids, they need boundaries and stability, and they need to feel safe and secure and loved. And so that comes with structure. And I know that's not always easy, but I've noticed with my own kids when things are crazy and we're kind of moving around, especially at this time of the year, people tend to be more busy. You might notice your kids are a little bit crabbier, or they're not obeying like they would normally. And that usually stems from lack of rest and lack of that structure. So that's another little piece of wisdom there. I'm actually almost there, so I'm going to cut this short. But the two verses, like I said, we don't want to exasperate our kids to discouragement, and love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. So if you're doing that, things might not always be easy, but it definitely helps the kids to feel secure and loved, and that's the goal. And generally speaking, if kids feel secure and loved, they're they're going to behave in such a way that represents that too. So anyways, have a great day.